Hello everyone, and welcome to the Speculative Wildlife Research Center. Today we're taking a spec-evil look at Tamatoa, the shiny, monstrous crab and best character from the animated movie Moana, as commissioned by patron Alec Foisey. So please consider liking and subscribing if you like this video. And now, let's get to it. Legends of horrible monsters that prey on humanity are rather common across the world, and yet they very clearly reflect the frailty of human life, particularly in the face of bigger and stronger creatures. Pterocarcinus amarissus, also known as the Tamatoa, is one such creature. These enormous relatives of the hermit crabs are semi-aquatic, and can be found living in deep underwater caves as well as surface rocky formations all throughout the South Pacific. Their ancestry is betrayed by their columnar abdomen, which has adapted into a strong, muscular organ that holds up their body as an extra leg. Yet, despite their huge size, their life cycle will begin with very tiny larvae, or larvae, similar to those of other crustaceans, and will require a lot of sustenance to reach its adult size. That's why the Tamatoa partake in matrophagy, that is, the tiny larvae will devour their mother, a grisly strategy seen in many invertebrates and known to increase general fitness and survival rates for the brood. Once they have developed, they will hunt on their own and grow until reaching their adult size of 3 meters or 10 feet in height. However, as is common for giant arthropods, the Tamatoa has a much thinner exoskeleton, as the weight of said structure would be too limiting for larger invertebrates, meaning one of its greatest defenses is lost. This issue is further worsened by the fact that the Tamatoa, owing to their large size and deficient exoskeleton, cannot regrow lost limbs, unlike other crustaceans. In order to protect themselves, and it is very vital they do, the Tamatoa must depend on a different strategy. As soon as their body develops into their juvenile stage, the Tamatoa will begin covering itself with materials found in its environment, including small rocks, pieces of coral, and even barnacles, and will stick them to their dorsal carapace, or shield, using a sticky secretion produced from the telson opening, the end result being rather similar to that seen in caddisfly larvae. While this helps both as a protection and a form of camouflage, the richness of their dorsal covering will also act as a mating display, and this in particular is achieved thanks to the presence of highly reflective fragments of shell and mineral present on their back. As one can imagine, the presence of anthropogenic treasures and shiny pieces of metal found underwater are a great building material for these huge crabs, who will take advantage of their shining, complex dances, and even fluorescent markings in order to attract mates. The Tamatoa will usually prey on fish and other sea creatures, standing either underwater or close to the water's edge and catching prey with a quick movement from its chelae, or claws. Unlike the rest of their exoskeleton, the chelae of these crustaceans retain a very hard and sharp surface along the inner edge, quickly crushing any prey caught by it. While their shining back will usually provide a great lure for attracting fish, its new artificial materials have also granted it a great lure for human beings, leading to the Tamatoa being feared by Polynesians up until the present day. And that's it for a speculative biology look into Tamatoa. It is really surprising how most of Tamatoa's characteristics fell so easily into place when adapted to a biologically plausible creature, helped in no small measure by Alec's notes. Although, as in many cases, the size had to take a bit of a dip given square cube law and how Tamatoa's massive size would have been hard even for a vertebrate to justify. As for the design, adapting the anatomy of Tamatoa into that of a real crab, particularly a hermit crab, was a really fun part of the process, as I had to balance Tamatoa's look, the crab's look, and adjust for biological plausibility. The biological model was chosen by Alec, and I felt this worked really well due to the need for Tamatoa to live underwater, as well as using its abdomen as an extra supportive limb. The face in particular was fun to work with, as I had to reinterpret that evil toothy grin into the anatomy of an actual crab. All in all, I'm really pleased with the final result, and I hope y'all liked it as well. Let me know in the comments if you did, as well as how you think Tamatoa will be reinterpreted in the inevitable live-action remake. I know, let's just be strong, everyone. And of course, big and shiny thanks to all who wanted to see Tamatoa reimagined, as well as to our researchers and research associates who support us through Patreon and YouTube memberships. Please consider joining in too if you want to support our channel, see all of our creatures and videos ahead of time, and help mold them into shape. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time on the Speculative Wildlife Research Center.